अग्निपथ नामक एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव योजना हम ला रहे हैं, जो हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस में ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव चेंजेस लाकर उन्हें फुली मॉडर्न और वेल इक्विप्ड बनाएगी।
ऐसी स्कीम है जो इस सेना को खत्म कर देगी।
Technology is taking over at a very rapid speed. So what was good for yesterday is not necessarily good for tomorrow.
Hello and welcome. You're watching One India News, and today we are going to talk about the Agnipath recruitment scheme. So as you all know that this Agnipath recruitment scheme is the reason behind all the protests that's going on across the country, in West Bengal, in Bihar, in Jharkhand, in Uttar Pradesh, in Hyderabad, and several army aspirants are protesting against this scheme, and several arrests have been made because of these protests. So today we have with us retired army personnel Major Samar Singh Toor with us, who is going to give us some clarification regarding the scheme and is going to talk about the scheme further in details. Hello sir, welcome to our show. So sir, let's just dive right into it. What are your basic thoughts about this Agnipath recruitment scheme to begin with? Do you think that this is going to hold any benefits for the youth of the country or the future of the country?
See, this is a futuristic concept, and this concept is already in place with the developed countries. For example, Israel is one of the leading nations who is recruiting college students, and they are called conscripts. So they are basically for the part-time services to the nation. So basically, a country which is surrounded by hostile neighbors, we need to have a updated and a younger manpower to fight the future wars. Now there has been a drastic change in technology, keeping in mind the Russian and Ukrainian war. The drones have put a big question mark on armored warfare. Tanks are like redundant because they cannot fire 90 degrees vertically upwards, where there is top attack by the drones. There's so much of surveillance equipment, jamming equipment, and the fifth generation fighter aircrafts are there which are non-detectable, and it is very difficult now to proceed with the battlecraft of old age, of previous wars, because now you have thermal imaging. So even if you want to hide, the thermal signatures will give away your position. Then they have different kind of radars which can detect any movement underground. So now it is basically information warfare and contactless warfare. For that, we need a younger fighting force compared to today's soldiers who are presently there in the Indian Army as of now.
So sir, you said that we need a younger population in the army itself. But the scheme, it says that for 4 years people will be recruited, and then those who will be demobilized, they are going to go back to the general job spectrum, right? So do you think that those who would be actually demobilized, which is more than I think 75% of the ones who are getting recruited, right? How do you think that it will affect them?
See, nobody has said that there will not be any changes or modifications to the scheme. Today it is announced as 25% for an initial start. You never know, after maybe 2 years they increase it to another 25%, that is 50% intake, which is logically correct. And
Okay,
even if we say 75% of the conscripts or the Agniveers will be asked to retire, then I strongly feel that they will be an asset to the society. There will be intake by the corporate. The society will become a better and a safer place to stay. There will be less danger and vulnerability to the ladies on the streets. There will be more gentlemanly crowd of these youngsters who retire and come out and who work in the corporate. And it is not necessary that they are going to work only in the corporate. As our Defense Minister Rajnath Singh ji said, they will be incorporated into other paramilitary forces.
Correct. So coming to that, sir, the Ministry of Home Affairs, they have said that 10% of vacancies will be reserved for the recruitment of Agniveers in CAPF and in Assam Rifles. So do you think that these promises will hold any actual water? Because do you think that at the end of the 4 years tenure, that the 75% of the Agniveers, do you think that they will actually be recruited in these spectrum or in the paramilitary forces?
See, there is no other choice also left. What other choice do we have other than taking them in the paramilitary forces, even if they come in? Because see, end of the day, it is saving of money. Why saving of money is become a criteria for the Indian government at present is we need futuristic weapons. We need to do extensive research and development for the future warfare weapons. It is not only going to be restricted to missiles, but will also be spread into outer space related to your satellites. So it has a very big futuristic outlook. For that, we need immense financial upgradation also.
Correct,
And
sir.
as far as you see, the previous vintage mindset used to be मुझे सरकारी नौकरी मिल जाए,
Hmm.
मुझे जॉब सिक्योरिटी मिल जाएगी, then I'll be able to marry, then I'll be able to live a calm and comfortable life. But now, if India is looking ahead to be a world power, I think these ancient and previous thought processes have to be deleted from our minds. We have to have a very competitive military as well, because अगर हम एक वो दावेदारी करते हैं to be a superpower, if we want to claim in the future that India needs to secure a place in the Security Council, India needs to be consulted in important decisions, our military has to be exposed to the world problems. We
So,
have to tackle them.
sir, you say that our army need to be acquainted with these problems, but in general, most of the people, they do belong to the rural background and they do need security. And under this scheme, the post-retirement benefits, they are done away with, right? So this has affected, and this is the main reason why that people are protesting. So how do you think that the ones who have really suffered throughout their lives and have studied through a lot of, have faced a lot of obstacles in life, and finally when it's time for them to gain some security, if you tell them that okay, now is the time that you understand that India needs to be among one of the world superpowers, so how do you think that they would get acquainted to this phenomenon? They are looking out for themselves, so how do you convince them?
See, as our late General Bipin Rawat said, आर्मी एक नौकरी का जरिया नहीं है, एक जीवन का तरीका है. इट्स अ वे ऑफ लाइफ. आप कैसे रहते हैं? इट्स अ डिसिप्लिन्ड लाइफ. एंड I feel surprised कि the youth are saying that they will turn against the government and this is not fair. But I want to ask the youth one thing: if you are calling yourself patriotic, at least first go in and serve for the 4 years. पहले 4 साल तो आप अचीव करो, उसमें काबिल तो बनो फौज में जाने के लिए. और once you go into the army, nobody is stopping anybody from being capable enough of meeting the criteria of the 25% troops to be permanent. कोई किसी को रोक नहीं रहा है. हाँ, there will be issues if a deserving candidate out of that 25% is not given his due and is not selected. So that is what I am saying. It is the initial step of this scheme. I am very sure that with this kind of scheme coming in and that relaxed mental attitude going away, and it's created a more competitive environment amongst the youth to fight for that 25%. I think the Indian military's overall efficiency is going to increase. There is going to be things which are going to be taken very less for granted. There will be more professionalism in the army. Nobody would like to become an indisciplined case and be removed from the organization with disrespect and even getting dishonor to his family and his village. So I am sure this is a process which is going to upgrade the mindset of the youth and the fighting capability of our forces for the future wars.
Okay. And also the political parties, they are claiming that, there are monetary benefits. Even if these Agniveers who are demobilized or the ones who are not getting recruited after 4 years, they would get some assurance about, they would be recruited in some sort of a service, or in case of a supreme sacrifice, they would be, they would be getting compensation, or their family would be getting compensation. So don't you think that this sort of branding sets a wrong precedence towards the entire in the context of recruitment, army recruitment?
See, uh, देखिए, if there is a one door closing, there are other opportunities opening. That is a fact. And as we speak, I am sure you have answered the question yourself. Now, the thing is, if the government has taken away in a very large amount the job security in terms of the quantity of soldiers that they will be taking in, then let me tell you, firstly, let me correct people that intake of soldiers has no limit, but retaining of the 25% is the limitation. Number one. So, firstly, nobody is stopping any youth from going and appearing into the recruitment rallies for the armed forces. Number one point. Number two, the amount of money financially they will be earning in a time span of 4 years, I seriously doubt whether they will be able to make that much money had they been in a civil background with their present qualification. I really doubt whether they would have been able to make that much of money. So approximately for 4 years, you are getting a salary worth 11 lakh rupees, and on superannuating, that is on completion of your 4 years, and if you are part of the 75%, you will get a bulk sum money of 12 lakh rupees.
Seva Nidhi package, the Seva Nidhi
Yes,
package.
so it is going to be approximately 20 between 22 lakhs to 25 lakh rupees. Now let me make the youth very much aware. I have retired as an SS officer. I have served in the army for more than 10 years. I, being so educated and as an officer, after putting in 11 years of service, approximately I am getting 25 lakh rupees approximately. So they are in a definitely win-win situation compared to all other scenarios of the armed forces and the retirees who are about to retire and get their gratuity. And one
Right.
more thing I want to say, if they claim to be patriotic, then I really do not feel the requirement of them protesting. Because patriotism, your degree of patriotism will not depend upon the number of years you serve for the nation.
Right.
Patriotic soldier can be alive for 3 years and be martyred in the fourth year, or can be martyred in the first 6 months of his service. So there is no measurement of patriotism. If you are patriotic, you will join unconditionally. आप शर्तें नहीं रख सकते. It is not a business happening. It is not a business deal that you are sitting on the table and you are putting in conditions to the government कि आप पहले ये करो उसके बाद हम आएंगे. There
Right.
are talks about boycotting the recruitment rallies. But
Hmm.
trust me, India is the second most populated country in the world. There will definitely be students who will be coming in for the recruitment rallies. They will not go vacant and they will not be boycotted. That is my conviction.
Right, right. Thank you so much for the information that you have given us today, sir. I hope that it gets conveyed to the youth of the country, and we truly hope that whatever protests that are happening all across the country right now, it does see a stop to it or some solution to it. We truly hope that there is a solution to all the problems that the youth of the country is facing and the government of the country is facing at the moment. Thank you so much for watching these videos. And if you like this video, do share and comment, and also like and subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to hit the bell icon.